This is Far Cry 4. We're here on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is a vast open world Far Cry experience like the other Far Cries, except this time you're out here in Mountain Range visiting an old homeland of sorts, trying to spread your mama's ashes. She told you of this magical place, and was that the technology they use in Avatar later on? Anyways, I digress. Your goal here is to come and, spread these ashes. You meet this charismatic dude who obviously doesn't like rebels, and if you just sit there and just, wait for him to come back, the story just ends and the game's done, but, the real adventure is getting out there and causing problems for everybody, so... why would you want to be inconvenience to everyone instead of just wrapping up the game right away? But, you play the game how you want to play it. So, this is one of those games that benefits from the PlayStation 5 Pro boosting experience, where you can enjoy smashing your face against the rocks at a sharper quality than ever before. So... Yeah, can I reach that, or is that gonna be a little out of the way? Oh no. Let's try this again one more time with feeling. So anyways, what are we getting here? It's 1080p at 30 FPS, which the fluidity, you definitely feel the lower frame rate because it's a shooter. It's a shame they haven't gone and given this one a bit of a remastering, as to say, because I do think it is a game that could benefit from that. But you kind of get what you get for these older titles, right? So if you play this on the Xbox side of things, they actually did the FPS boost technology, and it's a shame that PlayStation doesn't have something similar to that, because it would be nice to have the frames over a little bit of sharpening. But hey, if you're a fan of Far Cry 4, it is a little bit sharper looking than it looks in the past, and it did have a higher resolution quality than Xbox got, so like... to a degree, it is a better looking experience than it was in the past. I mean, like 1080p is still 1080p, but it's a pretty good looking game, good level of quality and detail here, and I think you'll likely have a fun time playing this game. It's... Where am I? Oh. It's actually a pretty great experience. It's quite cool. You go around, you're fighting for the rebel cause. It's got all the usual things that you do. Crazy interactions, blast enemies, fight things, scavenge stuff, hunt critters. There's a spin-off, which is Primal, which shares this kind of map design and then allows you to enjoy like the Primal era of stuff. They're always having fun with Far Cry, and yeah, this one was quite a bit of a change up from Far Cry 3, which is very much a tropical island kind of thing. Like this one, obviously being out in the mountains and stuff, a lot more of a sense of verticality. It's still very much a vast open area, but if you're used to the tropical style of what we had in the third one, this is it's a bit of a change up. I do like it for being something a little different, though, because, you get into the same tropes. Eventually, all your Far Cries will just be tropical visits, whereas it is kind of cool to have a game that takes you somewhere different and takes you somewhere unique, and I always think of these games as being different little adventure excursions that you get to go on. Visit some kind of weird... cool, exotic place, kill a bunch of guys, and, go on your journey and your way, and I think that's always been a fun part of this franchise. Of course, vehicles, there's cooperative play, too, so you can, play it offline, or you play it online with pal, have some fun, drive around, destroy bell tower things, meet different characters, make your mark out there in the world, liberate it, and everything like that, and... It's your Far Cry, right? Like, every Far Cry is the most Far Cry you've ever Far Cry'd. If you like the gameplay formula, it's basically just a Far Cry game in a different place. And I'm totally cool with that. I genuinely am. The propaganda machine. Mission complete. That's what we do here. And yes, it does look a little bit sharper for sure. It's mostly like, again, edging, and UI. UI, typically, it's the best sort of bump up that you get for this. It just looks a lot cleaner tech-wise. Down the zipline we go! I do think this game's a lot of fun, though. Like, if you've been waiting for an excuse to play Far Cry 4, I guess this is a good one. Or revisiting it, I suppose.
AJ Gale. And who
It just, it is definitely a bit of a bummer that, you know, we don't have a, what is the problem here? We don't have a higher frame rate. There's actually quite a few early era kind of games from Ubisoft that I'd love to see them touch up.
What's in the packages?
Supplies, things we can use.
Okay.
Wow, that sucks. How did I mess that up? Because, like, I mean, if they did go back and update this, right, just gave it, like, slightly higher resolution. Mostly just the frame rate, honestly. I wouldn't mind a higher resolution, too. I think that would look nicer. Wow, that is a slow auto drive. That is... Yeah, I'd rather just drive myself, I guess, at that point. Holy. You're not even driving when auto drive is on. Unless auto drive syncs to the speed I'm going. Let's try this. They just drove me off a cliff thing. Is this where I'm going? It is. Okay, let's go. Did you guys drive up here just to turn around and go back down? NPCs, right? What can you do? I guess they're just living their best NPC life. Is that where I'm headed? Ba, 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 ba. Don't worry, you can just hold the heal button, your character just like stabs yourself or pulls out a screw or something like that. It's very entertaining if you've never played a Far Cry game. You do all kinds of silly stuff as you heal. Very, very entertaining. Yeah, there's a lot of destructible kind of stuff in this. And I think this one's entertaining too, and from like just the kind of the way the opening of this was handled, it was kind of funny and always really well known because of that opening. I think that actually did like such wonders for this game in terms of like chatter and long-term discussion. I think it's often a bit of a forgotten Far Cry in the grand scheme of things. Is this not where I'm supposed to be? Or do you want me to go down the hill and up here? That's a bit of a shame because this one's fun, and then, you know, obviously, like, Primal ties into things nicely. What are these creatures? I think I'm supposed to kill it with a less terrifying weapon. Oh, its hide's not ruined from the bullets that I sprayed into it? Do you mind? Oh, now I can go up here and do the objective. It's because I came down and then I had to go back up. I was too clever for my own good, I guess. I find the villain in this one to be fun and quite charismatic, interesting, you know, design and stuff. Thought that was handled. What exactly am I here? Gather all supply packages. Oh. Well, duh. Oh, now the supply package is all the way at the top? I could have just drove around. Are you serious? I was already up there. I could have grabbed that one. You know, so he was kind of a fun villain to interact with. I thought that was a pretty cool performance. Definitely an intriguing character. And of course, you get a wide range of better, cool, fun weapons and tools to, you know, decimate all those that stand in the way of the rebellion. I remember the start of this console gen. Not this gen, but the one with the PS4 where it was like, you know, the games were all like, oh my god, they're looking so much better, and we're gonna get like PC setting stuff, and then like, yeah, that kind of died out really fast. Kind of died out really quickly, but hey, you know, we're still kind of getting slight benefits. I'm hoping that this sharpening kind of, you know, tech and stuff that they're playing around with PlayStation is something that, like, when a PS6 comes out down the road, that the PlayStation 6 has, like, an actual resolution scaling tech for these older games would be fantastic. But there's also just, like, so many of these Ubisoft games where I sit there and I'm like, I'd love to have an excuse to replay this. And I think giving us like remasters for them would be fantastic, but that's also not something we see as much these days. Like we're seeing more remasters, but we're seeing things of like older games, not something like this. And I don't know. There's just this huge swath of games from the first few years of the PS4 that could look and run a lot better. It's just they had like lower frame rates at the time, or some of the resolution was really low, and you know they all missed out on the PS4 Pro upgrades, and then, you know, in the long term we're
That's fantastic.
kind of still suffering because of that. Bit of a shame.
Thank you.
And, you know, I don't think checkerboarding is necessarily like a perfect sort of technology in my opinion, but, you know, had we had gotten that for this game, it would look at least a little bit better, right? Which is the ultimate goal for things. I don't know what else to say about this one. It's kind of just like a big, fun, open-world mountain range exploration. A very different and distinct entry in the Far Cry series. And that to me was fun, because now I'm kind of worried we're just going to keep getting like tropical beach stuff.
Here with your supplies.
Whereas it was neat to actually be in such a distinct location where you had to do a lot more climbing and movement and deal with that verticality. And it was a cool idea, but it was really... Nowadays, it feels like it's retreading on stuff because, you know, Far Cry has become so... I don't know if I'd call Far Cry stale, but... because I still love the core gameplay loop, but it's definitely become very similar with entries. It's very much, you know, what are we at the current time. Like, I know Far Cry 7's coming, and Far Cry 6 was like the most Far Cry ever Far Cry'd, which didn't make it a bad game, but it just kind of made it like a lot of Far Cry. But if you like Far Cry, you get a lot more of it, right? I'm also thinking of like evolutions this brought to the franchise. It was kind of like a weird, very different choice coming off of 3. Like, 2 was pretty groundbreaking for some of the physics stuff it was doing, and malaria. And then 3 really nailed the formula, and it feels like they've been largely coasting off of that since, and it's just this one was like, you know, why would you want to do it in a tropical setting? Let's do it in the mountains. Which I don't mind, but it is a weird like option. And 5 is the Heartland, and you know they did all the spin-offs. I can't believe how many Far Cry games. Like Far Cry traditionally was always like tropical stuff, like Primal and they're not Primal, so Predator. Far Cry, like, so there's a bunch of like earlier ones, and then of course there's like Far Cry, the spin-off with Primal, which was you know, BC era. There's Blood Dragon from 3. Then there was 5, and New Dawn, and then 6.
I'm Amita. This is Badra.
This does visually look a lot better than it does on Xbox, though, I will say that for sure. Just that lack of fluidity.
Look, I overreacted back there.
Oh, did you?
We keep losing soldiers, the work keeps piling up.
Is there anything I can do? I'm not a soldier. I want to help.
Okay. Sure. There's a farm not far from here. Kanan runs it, but she's old and she could use your help with some wild animals.
Hmm.
I need you to keep the hides intact, so use this. Badra.
A bow and arrow. I have a gun.
Try again. Very good.
Video games have such a weird obsession with the bow and arrow. Wasn't I just over there? I swear I was just over there. Do you find that weird too? I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that's like that, but I'm like, every single video game is, at least the ones that can do it, always try to like throw in a bow and arrow, and I'm just like, why? We have guns. You just shoot people. I get it's quieter doing the bow and arrow stuff, but like we have guns and silencers, and I don't know. At least that's how I look at it. I wonder if this one would look a lot more like, if the color range would pop a lot more if this was like 4K. Because I think it's a nice looking game. It's just like a little, I don't know, kind of jaggedy and stuff, right? Sharper now, but still kind of, you get what I'm saying. It's like 1080 is still 1080.
You might have some kind of wild animal problem.
Looks dead.
Hey, Amita, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here.
Wolves are a common nuisance for Kanan's farm. She's killed off a number of them, but this year they're especially aggressive, and I'm worried about her. There's a den nearby. Clear it out, huh? I think Kanan has supplies stockpiled somewhere on her farm that you can use. And Ajay, skin your kills. We can always use the pelts.
Alright, let's go. Oh, Tibetan wolf skins. Maybe you couldn't remaster this if it's got Tibet as part of it. Might impact some partners for certain regions, you know what I'm saying? A sewing kit, oh wow. Can I jump into the water or will I die? Woo! I do love the adventure style of Far Cry though. Wait, was this thing at the bottom of the water? A rice bag. I love how I almost drowned trying to get a bag of rice that was in the bottom of a pond, a lake. Well, actually, we know the definition of this. A pond you can see the bottom of, a lake you can't. Was it your bag of rice I just got? Feeling up that dead body of that lady. Wouldn't it be easier just to shoot these things with a gun? Just punch a wolf. I love how that other wolf is just now kicking into high gear. It's like, hey, wait a sec, you just got my buddy. Now I got you too. That's what it's all about when you're playing Far Cry, guys. The furthest cry is the one that has those animals you kill. My loot bag is full. Hate when that happens. Oh, now I have to go all the way back to the... you gotta be kidding me. I'm not collecting the bag of rice again. What are you gonna do with a bag of rice? Anyways, I hope this helped showcase the magic of the fourth Far Cry. It's a fun franchise. I'm sure I'll get around to showing off the others too. I have a lot of fun playing the Far Cry games. They're always enjoyable to me.